hero. So it's great.
You know what's so funny is that like this episode is definitely gonna like fuck my account up, but I'm in for it. I'd rather be like real and like if I God forbid if I passed away, I just want to make sure that I was authentic. Bro.
Absolutely.
And so I'm really enjoying this conversation.
Absolutely.
So they're gonna wipe people out with robots. How do you get in the way of that? So you want to be the Superman of this generation?
It's not about me. It's not about me trying to be the Superman because I'm not that arrogant. It's just about me understanding what I know is going to happen. And feeling like if God has given me a platform which people listen to me, I should at least tell the truth of what's going to happen. Okay. When I'm sitting there and saying to men, look, life as a man is shit. It's always been shit. It's never been good. When men wake up and say, I'm depressed and life is hard and I'm sad and I'm struggling right now, I say, okay, throughout history, men have always struggled. Happiness is for children and women. Name a time in history it was better to be a man. Was it better to be a man in World War II? Was it better to be a man on the Titanic? Was it better to be a man in the Napoleonic Wars? Was it better to be a man when you were sitting in Vienna and the Mongol horde arrived, ready to decapitate any male and enslave all the females? When's it ever been good to be a man? Building the pyramids, was that fun? It's always sucked. The only time being a man ever is good is if you become an exceptional man, which is even something feminists admit. Because feminists sit and complain about men and say, well, men have this, men have that. But they're talking about 2% of men.
Fascinating.
They don't talk about all men. They say men have the best jobs. 2% of men have the best jobs. Most men carry trash. So you're talking crap. So everyone accepts that the best possible human experience that exists is the top 2% of men. Anything below that sucks as a man. You're better off being a chick. So what I say to men is, look, life's hard. It's always going to be hard. It's always going to suck. It always has. The only way to get out is to become excellent and perform at a level where your echelon is so high that you get to live this brand new experience. You need to become strong and smart and interesting and charismatic. You need to become rich, powerful, well-known, connected. You need to do it.
But could all men do that?
No.
So, okay.
But I have to tell them the truth. When people come along to me and say, my life's shit, and I look at them and go, yes.
Do you feel like you could change it?
Shit.
Do you think you could change all of that just from a perspective? I'll give you one. I am happy all the time now. I was in a bad place because I realized I was just focusing on bad things. And I was being a pussy and not fixing what I needed to fix. Once I fixed what I needed to fix, I started focusing on the good things in life. Like today, I'm sitting with Reed, we're having breakfast, and I looked down, and we had a buffet, and I had a crazy amount of plate, like just a crazy plate. I took a video of it. And I looked at him and I go, do you realize even the greatest men 1,000 years ago wouldn't be able to have all of this decorated on their plate? And we throw this out. So it's perspective.
Agreed.
So do you think that you need to make more rich men or more rich in the heart men?
That's a very good question. And when I say rich, I teach financials because I think financials are important.
It's a tool.
It's a tool, and you have a responsibility to take care of your family. So I think that as a man, your happiness comes from feeling respected over feeling loved. And the reason perhaps you're happy now is because you have more respect for yourself because of the decisions you're making, and you have self-respect. And I think that a lot of men, even if they have self-respect, if nobody else respects them, they're struggling. I think male depression can be fixed with respect.
I want to tap into depression. What's your thoughts on that?
I think that it's massively overdiagnosed. I say depression isn't real because I speak in absolutes. I think the idea of feeling depressed is real. I don't feel like it's a clinical disease that you catch from the sky and it can't be fixed. I feel like depression is feedback, pain is feedback, and your mind and body is telling you something must change. And if you make those changes, you will feel happier. I don't buy into the idea that it is a disease. I think it's situational, and you must change your situation and your actions and your decisions to feel better. And that's why I say it's not real. It's not a disease.
I have a point of view on it. I wanted to share mine and see if it kind of matches yours and if you have a viewpoint on it.
Sure.
When I grew up, I like to describe myself. And then a lot of people get annoyed about that. And they're like, why do you talk about myself? Because who the fuck am I going to talk about? Do you know what I mean? Like, I hate that. Like, I'm not going to sit there and talk about Joe. I don't know who the fuck Joe is. I'm going to talk about George. George was raised, if I came home, I had a really tough childhood. And that's documented. I have a tough childhood when it came to making friends. I wasn't educated. They didn't know I was dyslexic. I had a lot of problems. When I came home, if I ever looked at my mom like, I'm depressed, she goes, no, you're not. And she nipped it right there. Stop saying that. And then I grew up and I'm reflecting. I'm going to bring it back to the Bible. In the beginning was the what?
In the beginning was light, wasn't it? In the beginning was the stars, and I should know this.
In the beginning was the Word.
The Word, you're right.
And he created everything with what? His mouth.
Yep.
And everything's vibration.
Yep.
People that don't even believe in God believe in energy.
Yes.
Okay. I think that we got to a place where if I looked at you every single day and I was somebody you cared about and was like, you're depressed, bro. You have anxiety. You have anxiety. I have anxiety. So if I'm telling myself this every single time I have a problem, I'm feeding myself this. Bruce Lee had a thing saying, don't joke about yourself because your body doesn't even know what's a joke or not, right? Yeah. So the philosophy that I'm going about is, are you talking it into existence? Are you, what's the word? Manifesting it.
Of course you are.
So I don't understand why people, they go to a therapist or they go to medication, but they won't fix their fucking mouth first.
It's so interesting you say this because when I say depression isn't real and it's situational and you have to change your situation to feel better, people often come back to me and say, well, what about celebrities? Because celebrities live perfect lives and they kill themselves. And I argue that with the exact point you made because a celebrity sits there, Robin Williams, I'm depressed. And instead of people sitting down with him and saying, Robin, listen.
Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up. Yeah. You're as famous as you can get. You live the most privileged life you can live. You can have a 19-year-old girlfriend tomorrow. Let's find out what's making you sad. Let's go on safari. Let's see some tigers.
Or get rid of the shit that's making you depressed.
Completely.
There's no attack towards making progress. There's just trying to take the easy way out.
That's
One,
right.
labeling myself.
Yep.
Sorry, guys. I can't do it today. I have anxiety or I have depression.
Yep.
Now, mind you, there might be some people out there that actually wake up and they have a lot of things on them. I think you need to find God.
Oh, absolutely.
That's it. Because if you had a God, you would know that you could cast your anxieties and depression on him.
Yep.
Now, having faith is a big thing for me. Big thing.
Yep.
If I didn't have faith, all the obstacles that I would look at, well, let me give you an example. When I first started the show, I was like, I don't know how, but I'm going to have this conversation with you. Yep. Now, fucking crazy. I came off of impulsive. Some people might not even want to do anything with me because I was the laughed at kid.
Yeah.
But I manifested and I pushed and I encouraged myself.
Yep.
I could have sat around like a pussy and be like, oh, no one's going to give a fuck about me. No one's going to do this. No one's going to do that. But if I can't care about myself, if I can't push myself,
right.
and if I can't encourage myself, who the fuck's going to come around and do that for me?
Nobody's going to care about you more than you.
Nobody.
Nobody's going to wake up each morning and go, you know what? Andrew Tate only has 53 cars. He needs a 54th car. I'm going to get up and I'm going to work hard and buy him a car. No, that's my job.
Did your money make you happier? Or did it cause you more anxiety?
Okay, that's a really interesting question, which we'll talk about actually. But everything you said about depression is super true. And Robin Williams, his mistake is that he went to a therapist who confirmed his bias, confirmed he's depressed. They then sat there and talked about being depressed 3 times a week for 2 hours a day. Then they put him on mind-altering drugs to make him feel better. And after 9 years of therapy, he jumped off a building. If I were to take mind-altering drugs and talk about being sad all day, every day, I'd probably jump off a building too. So it's absolutely the wrong thing you can do. And I want to make a point here because when I talk about depression, people always defend it. I said this. I was having a conversation with somebody.
By the way, hold on. Defending what? You have depression. I have depression. But we don't sit around fucking moping about it.
But the depressed people do. This is the interesting.
So you can't get mad at us for not going in the motion that you want to go about. You're trying to say that you're getting mad at me for saying that I don't sit in my depression.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that depression doesn't exist. I'm saying that I'm not giving it flowers. Everything is a mustard seed. Yeah. If you water that bullshit, it's going to fucking grow. Completely. What I don't understand is that the reap and sow is everything that anyone does. But people will reap one thing, and then when they're sowing this bullshit, they'll be like, wait, why did I get this?
Why did I get this? Yeah.
I'm like, because you were fucking, you planted this crop, but every single day you were talking about that crop.
Yep. Absolutely, completely true. And I said this many times before. I don't believe in things that take away power from me. I don't care if depression is real. I don't care if I'm wrong. I don't believe in something that takes away power from me because I can't become depressed if I don't believe in depression. And that allows me to shield my mind from the idea of being a depressed person. I can feel depressed temporarily, but I can never become a depressed person because it doesn't exist. You can lock me in a Romanian jail cell for 93 days with cockroaches. I will not be depressed. I will feel a little bit sad, of course, but I will never become a depressed person because I don't believe in it. And when I say this, depressed people are like, no, depression's real. It's ruined my life. It's taken everything from me. Depression's real. Depression's real. I said, you sound like it's promotional team. You sound like it's
their
PR
God.
team.
It's their God. They're worshiping it.
You're worshiping it because it gives you a cure-all excuse for your monumental failures, as opposed to waking up and going, you know what? Maybe I'm a fuck up. Nothing to do with depression. Maybe I've just been fucking up. Maybe depression isn't real and I've just been fucking up and I should fix a few of these things.
What have I been reaping?
Absolutely. And you'd be amazed how depression will lose power over your life and lose its ability to destroy your life if you stop giving it so much respect and just wake up and say, let me fix X, Y, and Z. What can I control?
Let me clear, just in case there's some people that might not catch up to our speed. I do not believe that some people, sorry, let me rephrase this. I believe that some people are depressed every single day, but I believe that their steps into fixing that is one, first and foremost, find God immediately. Two, instead of running to somebody and expressing your problems every single day, just sitting there, just telling somebody your problems every single day, find some friends, go to the gym. Instead of talking about your problems, talk about your goals, talk about your dreams. Focus on something that is not negative. If there's two wolves, and I'll say this every time, I've said this a few times, there's two wolves, Andrew. One's chained up in the dark, one's chained up in the light. Which one lives?
Yeah, absolutely, the one in the light.
The one you feed.
Interesting.
So I could feed the one in the dark all day and it's gonna live, and the one in the light's gonna die.
Correct.
What are you focusing on?
Correct.
So I'm not saying that if you're depressed that it's in your head. I believe that you're putting it in your head. And I believe that you could fix this by your mouth. Start by taking actions and taking accountability for what you are saying. The people that are jacked go in the mirror. It sounds stupid, but it's true. Bro, look how fucking jacked I'm getting. Look how jacked I'm getting. And guess what? They start getting jacked. Why? Because they're motivating themselves to get in the gym, eat healthier. They consistently talk about their body, so when bad food gets put on their table, they're like, nah, I don't want this right now.
Yep.
It's all about your mouth. Your tongue is the sharpest thing in the world.
And then we use that in the adverse, right? You can use that the other way around. This is why I answered the light wolf, because I believe that
your mind is focused on it.
Absolutely. But let's use it the other way around. So you can speak yourself also positive, which we know, but I think there's a mistake that a lot of people make with that. A lot of people are obsessed with the idea of happiness. And especially as a man, I think that happiness can actually be a very destructive motivator. And when men sit and say, I want to be happy, I want to feel happy. To feel happy, a lot of the time, you're looking for temporary hedonism. To be happy, you want to get drunk or take drugs or do something stupid temporarily, and it's very short-lived. I think you should instead be looking as a man to say, I want to feel proud. If you choose pride over happiness, you're going to make decisions that you're proud of and that people around you are proud of, and it's going to be better for yourself and better for society and better for everyone who loves you, everyone you care about.
I think that's the first thing you said that I disagree with.
You disagree? Completely. I think the best thing a man can do is wake up and say, what can I do that's going to make me proud of myself and other people are proud of me?
Let's get into our debate.
Let's do it.